cute people. Oh, hi, sweet humans. Hi. It's been a ride. I sound fake. I normally don't use words like ride. I don't use words like right. Okay, let's go again. So we're trying to make this video as short as possible because I have recorded this video 2 times. I'm going to show you the 2 different times I recorded this video, but like I had to record again because Bumi, my friend, the director of this YouTube page, told me it was trash. She looked me in the eye and told me my effort, that took me a lot of effort, stress, makeup, dresses, everything I did at home to try and record this video. She told me that video was trash because I was rambling for too long and my point wasn't clear, and anybody that didn't like me would never ever watch past 1 minute. And honestly, it hurt because like that took a lot. I'm not gonna mention how hard it was to be here right now shooting this particular video because like I'm back in school and I had activities. I had classes this morning and I was lying on my bed because like obviously I needed to rest because of the sun here. Like I was thinking, okay, I had to get the makeup done as early as possible because I didn't want to use this background. I wanted to use another background, but like I can't use that background right now because it's dark. It's really dark out because it's like really okay. She says I'm rambling. I'm sorry. I don't know how to talk without rambling. So basically I could not shoot the video because like it's dark, so like I'm just trying to do this makeshift curtain. I'm not going to show you the details, but trust me, this thing behind me took a lot of work. Like when we started, the whole thing crashed on top of our heads. It was not funny. We wanted to cry. We legit wanted to cry, but we just started laughing because like if we don't, okay, welcome to my channel, and my name is aminuhamdaa, and I don't want to ramble because I'm known for rambling, and this is not the first, second, third, fourth, fifth. Said that at the beginning of the video I should tell you guys my content, what my content is going to be about, and why I want you guys to stay here with me, considering the amount of effort it took to put this together. All of this is chaos. It's been hard. It's been hard today. It was hard the other times I recorded a video, and it's harder now because I have my roommate staring at me. I have my video director staring at me. So like it's really awkward, but like I'm just trying to put myself together because if you take this light, and I want you guys to help recognize the amount of effort it took to make this happen. Considering this is the 3rd, do you think it's okay? Do you think we should watch it?
I mean, that anytime you say something that you're supposed to say, you want to start again, just count to 3. 1, 2, 3.
Turn it, tap it. So I will be discussing a broad spectrum of topics ranging from books, fashion, love, friendships, depression, mental health struggles, overcoming failure, enduring pain, disappointments, basically booktubing with his flash of storytelling. Because like every time I complete a book, I'm feeling it's inebriating and I'm filled with this weird evangelical zeal that I just want to preach about it. So this is going to be a lot of booktubing. Yeah. Stop that. That's good for an introduction, ba? So the book I'm going to be reviewing is The Midnight Library by Matt Haig. It's Matt Haig or Matt Haig. I did not bother to check the pronunciation because I didn't know I was going to be shooting this day. So maybe in the next video I'll have the correct pronunciation. But for now, the name of the book is The Midnight Library by Matt Haig, and I got it at a coffee shop with Spogoro. He's just someone that I really like. Actually, that doesn't even describe how much I like him because it's someone I respect, and actually I'm going to edit this part out of the video so you won't have to see all this. 1, 2, 3. The Midnight Library by Matt Haig. Meanwhile, I have to say this. If you're someone, I shouldn't be shouting, especially because I have a microphone on. But if you're someone that fixes nails, I just want to tell you that you are doing a great job of doing fashion, because this is no child's play. This is a complete chore. Like this one chipped just because I was trying to tie my scarf. Everything was harder just because I had nails on. Like, I wouldn't do this again. This is the first and maybe the last time, because it doesn't even make my hand look prettier, because I don't have pretty hands normally, and like, this is just all funny. Like, it's press on nails. Okay, I'm going into too much issues about the nail. I don't want to ramble in this video. Because of rambling is why I'm shooting this again. That's why I have to stop rambling and get into it. So we're getting right into The Midnight Library by Matt Haig. So I should introduce you to the author, but unfortunately I do not know much about him, because like, there's not much about him on the internet. On his Instagram, there's not much about. I can assure you he's a very, very good author, because this book is exceptional. This book is a whole lot of books in one book, because like, this happened, this happened, this happened, this happened. The main character lived different lives, ranging from bad to good. Meanwhile, trigger warning, this book contains a lot about suicide, a lot about mental health struggles, and you know, those things like that some of us can't deal with, but like, we just have to deal with it, because it's just a major part of life. Honestly, I really hope this video is recording right, because if it's not, I don't know what I would do. So I'm just gonna summarize through what this book is about for us, so you know what I know. You know, I can only say very little about the book, because like, there's not much time. If I start talking about the book chapter by chapter, you will not stay here with me. So, because that's what I did. That's what I did in the other video. That's why that video cannot be used. And I'm still very pained about it, because like, that took me a lot of time to record, a lot of energy, a lot of money.
Focus.
Okay, focus. She said I should focus. I should stop going back to the past. That's my problem. I like going back to the past. I just hope I don't have saliva gathered on the side of my mouth. I have glove. Okay, so this book is about Nora. She's the main character, because apparently Nora's life had been going from bad to worse. Then at the stroke of midnight on her last day on earth, she finds herself transported to a library. There she is given the chance to undo her regrets and try out each of the other lives she might have lived, which raises the ultimate question: with infinite choices, which is the best way to live? Let's stop it. We should stop it now. I'm going to talk about, I told you we're going to be recollecting Nora's life. Nora is the main character. The main character in the book by Matt Haig, The Midnight Library. This book has more meaning as relates to life, as relates to social media, as relates to pain, as relates to, you know, being disappointed in oneself, of which many of us are going through presently in our lives. I mean, there are days when I sit down and all I can think about is how I am not enough, and how I have messed up my life, or how I am never ever going to break through. I mean, it's a familiar feeling. Like, I resonated with Nora. So like, I think, let me just start from the first chapter of the book. Was her, Nora, as a kid. So many possibilities at her feet. She had it all. She was a kid, she had so many abilities, she was smart, you know. People were so sure that she was going to make it in life, but then she did not. And then, you know, the pressure from growing up, the pressure from people's expectations, like, it weighed her down and it almost ruined her, basically. But okay, that's what happened in the prologue. She was in the library with a woman, an old woman, and the old woman was telling her about how she could be anything at all she wanted to be in life. Then flashback to her, I think 20-something, she was in her miserable life, sitting on her dilapidated sofa, going through social media, scrolling through people's lives and wondering, when would I get a break as well? When would I be happy? You know, the way the lots of us do. I mean, I pick up my phone sometimes and I just relax and I just keep on looking at people's lives. I'm not saying everybody should relate to this. There are some people that are content in their lives, and honestly, that's beautiful. There's no such thing as beautiful as being content in your life, content with your life. But for some of us, me for instance, there are times when I feel really bad about my life. I feel like my life has gone nowhere. I feel like I've struggled too much to be where I am, mentally, physically, financially. I feel that way sometimes, and honestly, it's just, I see it as part of life. On those days when I feel energized, on those days when I feel motivated, on those days when I feel like I'm doing things, I allow myself feel it. I experience the feeling. I want to be happy in that moment, and so I'm happy. But on those days when I feel terrible, depressed, low, I feel like, you know, basically shit, I also allow myself feel like shit completely. This life is just about owning whatever position of feeling you find yourself and owning it right. So 13 years later, she was sitting on her sofa and, you know, scrolling down people's lives. Then let me tell you something funny. Fun fact. My friend said that as she's about to turn the camera on, I should try not to go off point because she just wants me to go straight into it. Because like apparently people that watch YouTube don't like people that don't know what they're doing with their lives, and that's the definition of me. I am very chaotic. I would rather we go into the depths of her despair with Nora, but that's not smart because like that's a longer recording time and nobody's gonna stay here with me through all of that. So I'm just going to tell you what happened with Nora. She was this girl that knew how to do lots of things. She knew how to swim. At the time she was a musician. At the time she was a writer. She was just like very, she had this all these possibilities at her feet. A life where she was working at a music shop. She was barely earning enough money to even stay on top of her finances. She was sad because she wasn't in talking terms with her brother. She had lost both her parents, so she was alone. Then she had a cat, and at the beginning of the story was when she lost her cat, and that's when the story started. And you know, everything happened. Yeah. So Nora had that. Well, she didn't just wake up and say she wanted to kill herself. It was a series of events that led to that decision. She lost her cat, then she went out to see Mr. Banerjee. Mr. Banerjee is an old guy that stays around her house that she usually gets things for, medicine for. The man didn't need her anymore because apparently his chemist moved close to the house. And then there's a kid she takes for piano lessons. He didn't need her anymore because, well, his mother got tired of her and always coming late. Then she lost her job at the music shop as well. I think I'm rambling again. So things were scattered in her life, obviously. So like she was tired. She checked her social media, messages. She checked her WhatsApp, 0 messages, and that's very unfortunate. Yeah, it's very sad when you feel alone, then you open your phone and then you still feel alone. I mean, that's not a good thing, man. Of course, she was really feeling a lot of despair, a lot of uselessness, and she got home 3 hours before the time she decided to take her life. She, drowned herself in a bottle of wine, and then realization hit her. This life was not meant for me. Like, this life was not meant for her. Not me. She drank wine, and then she knew one thing with absolute certainty. And what was that? She knew that it was a good time for her to die. How do you know that it's a good time for you to die? I felt that sounded so poetic, So that happened. You should know that at that point, I could not put the book down anymore. Because, like, we're all curious, like, what happens after suicide? Everybody wants to know what happens after we die. Put religion aside. Religion, as a Muslim, if you die, you're going to hell. As a Christian, I'm not sure, but it should be something similar as well. But, like, let's just look at this from a scientific point. I'm sorry if that, triggers your sense of spirituality. Let us just embrace math and science here for now, for this moment. So like, we want to know, like, what's on the other side of life? What is on the other side? What happens? So in this book, there was some sort of purgatory situation, but not really purgatory, just in between life and death. Nora decided that it was a good time to die, and she found herself somewhere in a midnight library. Hence the title, The Midnight Library. Nora's life was an absolute mess. She considered herself an unfinished jigsaw of a human. She would do this. There was times she was into sports, but she could not do it to a point where it becomes a huge part of her. All of these jack of all trades sort of people, they never get to do one thing well. They just do everything, dabble into everything, hoping that will be what will help them to break through. But it turns out that that's not it either. They have to move on. About this book, the titles are very peculiar and cool. I really love how this book was written. Actually, my dream is to write my own book one day and have somebody review it, have people review it. And Nora finds herself at the library, and she felt smothered by the weight of her regrets. Everything. I regret feeling so much guilt. I regret not having fun when I was much younger. I regret all those arguments with dad. I regret not working with animals. I regret not doing geology at university. I have very limited amount of time on earth, so I'm very selective on the types of books I read. So like, I had to make sure that I was making a good selection when I picked it up. Can I get my phone? It's very thought-provoking. It's clever. It helps us explore our relationships with regrets. And our relationship with regrets, I think that was one of the things I enjoyed the most about the book, because it made us realize that regrets aren't really just regrets, and they are not just things you wish you can undo, because there's a lot more to regrets than regrets. Regrets don't lead you anywhere. I don't know, there might be some other philosophical explanation, but in my opinion, regrets don't lead you anywhere. Okay, so you regret, but what are you going to do? Do you have the resources to time travel, to go back into the past and change it? So what are you regretting for?
Nora sampled a number of lives. In some lives, Nora attracted a lot of attention. In some lives, she attracted none. In some lives, she was rich. In some lives, she was poor. In some lives, she was healthy. In some lives, she couldn't climb the stairs without getting out of breath. In some lives, she was in a relationship. In others, she was solo. In many, she was somewhere in between. In some lives, she was a mother, but in most, she wasn't. Nora lived 1,000 different lives. The clearest, most straightforward lesson learned from this beautiful book is, and from all the numerous lives Nora sampled, is that no way of living can immunize one against sadness. Sadness comes hand in hand with happiness. It just, one can't be without the other. They're just, sadness is intrinsically just part of the fabric of happiness, and you just can't have one without the other. It's just how life is calculated and cracked up to be. You can't be happy all the time, and you wanting, you desiring to be happy all the time is what breeds sadness from the first place. There's no love where you can be in a state of sheer happiness forever, and imagining that there is just breeds more unhappiness in the life that you're currently in. So contentment, people, contentment is basically what is being preached here. So I'm hoping this has helped to put things in perspective for you and know that the grass isn't greener anywhere else.
From books with you, because like when I'm done reading a book, like I'm filled with this, I don't know, should I say, profound sense of change. Like something in me has shifted, sometimes positive, sometimes negative, or mostly positive, but like sometimes I just want to share that feeling with people, you know, talk to them about the book I read, what I learned, what I did not learn, what I unlearned, and what I am in the process of learning. That's why I just feel, okay, why not make a YouTube channel, since I like sharing my opinion anyways. So I really hope you guys have fun here with me. I really hope we have fun together. So that brings us to the end of today's video. Thank you for being here with me. And all of this took a lot of effort. This is, like I said, the uptime time I'm recording this, so I really appreciate a subscribe and a thumbs up. Thank you. I really hope that's how it's said. Yeah, and I'm so tired. My friends are tired, my roommates are tired, and I really stress them out too. Please, for their sake, please subscribe and hit the thumbs up button. I'm actually working on, okay, I'm not about to start another thing, but like I wanted to tell you that I'm working on having a British accent. My friend is already hissing. Okay, and I need to fix my necklace, please. Sorry. Yeah, I said it in the previous video, the one I'm not going to post because, well, it's not good, that I may not upload this, or I may, because like